Hello and good afternoon. Today is April 26th of 2015. We're about to conclude the month, and before that we're going to do the weekly review. We're going to start with two stocks, major stocks from the S&P 500. The first one would be Microsoft and the second one Amazon, and then as always we'll move to the bigs, the S&P 500, the Euro stocks, and I do gold, and then I'm going to show you a forecasting tool that I like it very much, and I enjoy all the automatic analysis. First of all, you can see here for last Friday how we can see Microsoft was 10% up and Amazon was 14% up. That's not usual for any of these stocks. The first one is Microsoft. As you can see here, we were in the downtrend, and it has a large gap up. Two things can happen: the gap holds, or it does not. Most likely, it's going to hold, and I'm going to change this to bar type. So more likely, it's going to hold since the close was here, as you can see, almost to the high. And if it doesn't, we will look for selling pressure and a gut feel. But it's good. I was benefiting of this gap up since we were long Microsoft for a while, and this put us back to a good place. And the second one is Amazon. Amazon here. So in this stock, let me change this to candlestick. We had a large gap as well. Look at the 14% move. And like I said before, two things can happen. There is a gap fill or it does not. If it does, and we see selling pressure, this would be a significant move down from the all-time highs. Look, this stock has never traded higher. We could put this in quarters, so it has never traded higher, so it's quite positive for the stock. The next thing, like always, I'm going to do the bigs. We're moving below this support line. We're below the square, that the box here. This means that I have to take very good care of the risk management, because a big spike could come up soon. So when you are entering short positions, or you have to notice this, and when you are trading options, you have to notice that the VIX it's much lower than what it has been in the last months, right? The S&P 500 traded to the highs, all-time highs on Friday. We can see this here. This is the new high. This is quite positive, and there is a likelihood that we might trade even higher. We did not have a close above, and it's most likely going to happen this Monday or Tuesday. The Euro stock traded much higher as well, but it's still in a range. We have seen the Euro planning at least getting a little stronger, so the Euro stock stopped moving and now has been in 5 days, 6 days in this range. The futures are in the S&P 500 right now. I will show you right now. The last trade was at 112, and the market profile is at the same height the last time. So last Friday and Thursday. So we see a little bit of consolidation. And the dollar, you can see here the dollar chart. If fell to close above this line, and it fell to close above this line. This line I just put it here for reference purpose. And with the dollar moving away from its high, this is the dollar index against all the major currencies, so moving away from the highs. The euro stocks, European stocks, might not go as strong. This is the Russell was positive, while the Nasdaq at the S&P was coming a bit lower like last couple of weeks, but now it's back up. This is positive for the overall stock market. This is gold, where in the long-term chart we can see from 2003, 2001 to 2003, the fast raise, and then from the highs of 2011, we moved quite a bit lower. The resistance are here at 130, like 1130, but it's still far away. But we can see how this short line is holding, and there is more likelihood of gold trading lower than trading higher. However, if you want to trade precious metals, a weaker metal would be silver, as something to take into account. And to conclude the information from Eikon, and then we move to the forecasting tool. Here we have the stocks. I mean, the major indexes around the world. All of them are positive. This is quite good, given that we are in the end of April. And the big ones, especially in local currency, the big gainers are European indices, right? So we could arrange them here: FTSE, CAC, DAX, and etc. Then the Bovespa is much higher now than in the Americas. In local currency, of course, in dollars, it's much weaker, and the Nasdaq is way above the S&P 500, the Dow Jones. Of course, the last move from last Friday, Amazon and Apple are lifting the Nasdaq up. Now moving to MetaStock. This is a software I use for entry, exits, targets, and stop losses. I'm not going to run through how it works and what are the bases on it, but it's one of the most sophisticated software I have access to. It's quite powerful, and I like it very much. Here we have, on top of us, we have automatic buy and sell signals, and on the top, right, have an advisor here, an expert advisor doing this. And below we have the same thing, where we have selling signals and buy signals from other strategy I run here, both of them in the S&P 500. We're going to go to the forecasting tool, because this is what I like the best. Here is my list of equities or instruments I follow: the S&P 500, the Euro stocks, the VIX, Apple, crude, and gold. I'm going to run the forecast for this. He is running, so let's give a couple minutes to load, and I'm going to show you what is going to happen. The first screen we have up is S&P 500, and we have two things: the forecast analysis and the events library. So I run for all these events. All these events comes as a standard defaults for the package. And then we have here a forecast cloud. I'm going to click the most recent events, and here you'll see the most recent event is a 52-week high, and the second one is a candlestick big black. So the forecast cloud of all of these events is the following. 0% to with an 80% chance of being around this level for the next 7 to 14 days, then moving lower in 13 days, 60 to stay about the same, and then raise a little higher, but not much in the S&P 500. If we go to the specific marker of the 52-week high and we load that cloud, it looks like this. Okay, so this is the cloud where of the forecast of the S&P 500 is going to be a bit higher, but not much, and is expected to be in a range. I disagree with this, but this is what the software is telling us. So if we load another event, this one here, we can see the historical value of this. Okay, and this is how I use the software. So let's say I agree with the candlestick, this event here, right? Let me load. So let's see that I agree with this. We're here, give me the big black candle, and then I know there is a 90% chance of being around here the following day. And as it move to a lower deviation or a lower chances, I start taking profit. And if it moves to lower deviation on the downside, I take the loss. Okay, if I enter in that price. Let me give you another example on the Euro stock. Let's move to the, and here we have many options: high profit, most accurate forecast. Here we have triple witching day event, right? That's the day of future stocks and options go on Friday. So here we have almost very much a high percentage that it came here, and then look, we came lower, so the stop loss will be here because I am not, the system is not able to predict, and my stop loss will be here, so I exit the trade here. The forecast cloud of the Euro stock is much, it's positive than the S&P 500, you can see. However, you have to watch out of what do you believe with the software. On the right hand side, you have the statistical report for any of the events I click. So you can see from the MACD crossover, it was 28 times within 1,822 days between this and this data, etc., etc. And here it gives you the chances and probability, and the events days are here. Next, moving to the VIX. This is quite important. I'm going to click the events, and I click the most recent events. And then I will analyze the 52 weeks high. So the most recent events are here. This is a negative one. I click, and you can see how the forecast really worked. It was here, it was already in the downtrend, and look, the VIX moved to this area where it's around the red area, which shows a 80% chance of moving here within this area, and the cloud is turning negative. You can see how the forecast cloud is lowering each time, and this is what is happening to the VIX, right? So it's quite powerful. If we get, and this is an event that already happened, right? This was the cloud in that day. If we get the higher potential events is the 52-week high. You can see how normally when 52-week high hits in a stock, the trend is to move higher. However, in the VIX, you see the trend is to move lower. So this is quite powerful. It gives a very powerful system, very quick and very fast. You see how quickly I load the stocks and these indices. In Apple, let me go to the most recent. The most recent is the 52-week high here. Most recent events. The most recent was a Bollinger Band breakout. It was to the upside. Of course, you could automate all these signals and have the signals and operate. At the moment, I don't have them automatically, but it's because I don't have enough computing power. But for some stocks and for major trades and for risk management purpose, and especially for large hedges in the portfolio, this is a great tool, at least for me. This is Apple forecast cloud of the Bollinger Band breakout is positive. So from the current moment, so at the moment, look, there is an 80% chance of trading here. The forecast cloud is set with 100% chance, around at least higher than 90% chance that the Apple should be around 135 within before May 1st. So I mean, I don't know a lot of software in the world that are able to give you this. I mean, then we can check within a week if the forecast was right or not. But at least it gives you. I have my view, the software view, the trading systems, the valuation of the stocks, and the valuation of the options with the bigs. I mean, this is able to give me a lot more data that any. I mean, data, at least data and information based on facts, on real data, that any other software that I know include is similar thing. Here, I'm going to show you how it was wrong. But uh, I picked this event. This was the 52-week low, right? Highest potential in the historical events. Uh, it has worked. Look, statistics in the 7 days. Statistically, 7 days after the event occurred, with a probability of 95%, the closing price appears to be 1.3% lower, with a standard deviation of 0.06%. The statistical margin of error is approximately 15%. This is critical for me when taking trades, both short and long, or exiting with target with the stop losses. I mean, and here the software it was wrong. The price just moved higher, right? You can see, and it was giving about an 80% chance of being here. It was correct these days, but you would expect the price to move lower. It didn't. And these were fundamental data and price driven data works that as a hedge. But this gives you a view that you could share or not, but it's a mechanical view that helps me very much. And lastly, to conclude, we have gold. Let me go to the last events, right? The most recent events in gold. We have the triple witching event. Let's go to the candle. Let me go to the RSI positive divergence. This is um, where it helped me to go short instead of going on gold. I went short on silver, and because I was looking for something to go short with similar correlation with gold, and this is how I did it. Look, so we have RSI positive divergence, right? Is this event here? So on that day, right, it's here. So it was trading higher with an 80% chance of trading here. It was true. I mean, and statistically, this says with a 95% chance of moving to that level and closing about 1.8%. Of course, the standard deviation here is much lower, and the statistical error is much higher. Margin of error 31%. I mean, we know that gold it's very hard to explain. If we go to the highest risk, the higher profit potential, then we go to the forecast cloud. We get this information. Positive it is expected to stay positive within. I mean, flat. Sorry, flat. Within one 130 days approximately, and positive within the next 80 days. You can see from today's moment. I not currently have a large position on gold, as you know, like from the commentaries, short silver and exiting silver soon as the targets are hit. So just to conclude, I hope you enjoyed this video. You have any questions about the software? I use both Eikon and for data. It's probably one of the best data you find around in the world. And the MetaStock is just it's a piece of art. So I just saw you a little glimpse, and here you could have charts, statistical charts, like I showed you before, but like any chart. You have an explorer as well, an assistant test. This is everything is defaulted here. I am not running any and here you have the instrument. Sorry, I'm not running any of my back testing or systems here, but as I said, the forecasting tool is just unbelievable, and that you have 360,000 instruments preloaded here it's unbelievable. It's a very nice piece of work. Here, of course, you have Eikon, and this is data stream. Just to conclude, I was not going to give you this today, but I was doing some research. Okay, we traded higher to the S&P 500. The MSCI World is closed there at all-time high. You can see 441. In here we said was 427. However, you can see the P ratio is not as high as it was in 2000, and it's not as high at all as it was in 2007, 2008. So it could be room to grow for global equities, and we'll see. Thank you so much, and please contact me if you have any questions.